super excited about this because I'm finding, honestly, at first I was so intimidated about this content business, and now that I'm really into it, it is the funnest part for me. I love it, love it, love it a lot. I'm always looking for ways to create content because I imagine that I wasn't the only one that started looking at this content like it was a massive beast, and how was I ever going to be able to bring value to anyone? And the truth of the matter is that we're all unique and individuals, and we all have special talents. We just don't necessarily recognize them in ourselves. So one of the things that I did this past weekend was I went to a 2.5-day write your own book boot camp. And I found this on Facebook. It found me. They marketed me. I found it. It was totally free. It was amazing. I learned so much. And what I was saying the other night, was sharing with some people, was that all of this information that I learned can be transferred directly into our content marketing. So I'm actually going to share my screen. Write a book in as little as a week, creating tons of content. So 7 steps to creating content or a book at lightning speed. Literally, you can do this exercise in 40 hours. I'm not kidding you. Create a book. Over the weekend, we did it a whole chapter in a little bit of time. Okay, so this is why we'd want to create a book. It creates building trust, and what we're doing is content marketing, so we want to build trust, right? So being an author makes you an instant expert in whatever it is you're doing. And don't worry about it if you don't have a topic. We'll get to that. All your chapters are going to give you tons of valuable content and topic you can expand on as part of your marketing. The exercise itself can also help you create a way more efficient way of writing that will help you with your ad copy, just your writing skills. It could also become a downloadable giveaway in the form of an ebook for your leads in the future, or for ManyChat giveaways or whatever. Whatever you do, however you live, your dog, anything of value to you is you have a secret that you're not sharing with the world. And you don't even know what it is. And you don't actually know until you start talking. So ask your friends, they're going to help you. Here's our 7 topics we're going to cover. And it looks like a lot, but it's not. So I'm just going to get rid of that. So your first step, everything you're going to do in this process of creating your book, let's say, you're going to do every one of these steps in 5 minutes. The point of doing 5 minutes is to force your mind to actually create quicker. Because if you're anything like me, you might be tempted to sit down to write something and procrastinate and second guess. But if you actually put yourself on a timer where you have a limited amount of time to get this content out, you're going to find yourself creating it quicker and quicker and quicker. So the first step, you have to sit down and do 15 topics in 5 minutes. You can write them out in any order, but it has to be 5 minutes. This is a magic rule through every step of this if you're going to create this in 40 hours. So 5 minutes. The next step, in 5 minutes again, you're going to take those 15, you're going to reduce them to 10. So you're going to read through them, you're going to combine the similar ones, you're going to reduce the list down to 10 chapters or topic titles. Put them in a logical order. Look at that. You're already an author. You already have 10 chapters. Now you got to get going to get the content going. So you take your, again, everything we're saying in here is 5 minutes for each. So now you're going to take and you're going to create 18 ingredients for each topic. So think about the topic or chapter like a recipe. What ingredients do you need to put into that in order to create your chapter? These are simply short statements or points you're going to expand on. Please don't try to write a chapter in 5 minutes. It's not going to happen. So step 4, you're going to slim down your 18 to 15 again. And this is just a way, because oftentimes we'll repeat things. So this is a way of just condensing them back down into 15 again. So go through your 18 ingredients, combine the similar ones, put them in logical order. And again, they're points, not chapters, 5 minutes. So the whole point of this exercise at this stage is to get it down. You're going to fix the spelling, get the grammar, write full sentences later. This is all about brainstorming. And in this system, the 5-minute rule forces you to produce the content, and you can do this in the 40 hours if you stick to the 5 minutes. Step 5, 5 minutes to turn all 15 ingredients into an emotion. Now, guys, this is the most important part of this process. As you've heard everybody talk about content, emotion is so important. And this is going to, for a lot of people, be the toughest kind of part of this exercise. So you want to take all 15 ingredients and you're going to turn them into an emotion, which is a significant statement. So you're aiming to activate the right side of your brain, and you want to create emotion here, something bold that will stir emotion. So take each of your ingredients from step 3 and turn them into an emotional statement. I'm going to give you an example of this in a minute. This is right brain work, so please be patient with yourself. If you're not a natural right brain thinker, then this won't come as easy to you. Again, 5 minutes down, move quickly, clean it up later. So an example of creating an emotional statement, when I did the chapter in the class, one of the topics I had was food. So to create an emotional statement around food, I wrote, food, while soothing in the moment, will only make you fat and sad right after you eat it. That's right, I said it. Then from that, you're gonna again have this big list. So now you're gonna start creating questions, because the questions is what's gonna create the content. So asking questions forces your left brain thoughts. This will help you focus. So from the emotional statement, you will now create questions. Same question, and this is the other side of that. So food while soothing in the moment will only make you fat and sad right after you eat it. The question could then become, how do you overcome emotional eating? Well, I don't know, April. How do we do that? How do you overcome emotional eating? You have to answer 3 statements for every question that you have in point form. So you would prepare your food daily for daily intake, note emotional state before you eat, and walk around the block before eating. So what you're trying to do, what you're actually doing, and I hope you're following this, and I know I'm talking fast, what you're actually trying to do in this is you're taking one small idea and you're pairing it out, and you're actually adding more and more content that you're going to expand on as you go through. Okay, so now you have all the content to finish your book, believe it or not. You have everything you need right here. And then what you're going to do is all of this, you're going to expand on all these ideas. And again, everything that you do in this process is 5 minutes. Okay, so if you decide to write a book, you're aiming for short. 1 chapter should not be more than 4 pages in a Word document, which is just readable type. Choose your topic first and then write from there. So all of these things you pared down your questions, when you've got the answers, those answers are going to actually plunk back in. When you start doing this exercise, it'll make more sense when you've got it on paper. If you decide to use this exercise for content creation, keep in mind your audience, your avatar. What kinds of things would they like to know about? Keep track of your content. Keep track of all the content you're putting out. Look at your engagement. That's just normal stuff, right? Ask your audience. I actually did a cool thing I'll tell you about in a minute. Well, I thought it was pretty cool. And then in the back, we have some resources. So I'm actually going to use this exercise to write a giveaway. Now, this is an advanced kind of thing. Like if you're in your first 30 or even 90 days, please don't start writing a book. Get on your ad copy, get your ads right, do all that. The exercise itself, though, you can do to what I found when I went through this process, and I know it's hard here because we're kind of spitting it out at you. I'm spitting it out at you. But what I found when I sat down and did the process is as I was doing this in class, I literally was writing all these titles of things that I want to talk about. I did 4 videos this morning that were all based on doing this exercise. Because what happens is your brain starts firing. As you start asking yourself questions, it's like, oh, and then I can talk about this and I can talk about that. And what it forces you to do is dig deep internally and start pulling out the things that you know about that you don't pay attention to that you know about. And when you sit down to write content, I know what it's like. It's like, okay, I got to write something or I got to talk about something. I don't know anything. Well, you do. It's just you have to stimulate your brain. And I found this exercise was super helpful for me to stimulate the parts of my brain that needed to learn.